Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Hey, look, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. Hey, would Teofimo Lopez be the pound-for-pound king had he not lost to Kambosos? Well, that's what Paulie Malignaggi was saying this morning. Chris Algieri seems to agree. And there are a lot of boxing fans that agree. I don't. Let me tell y'all something. Teofimo Lopez can fight. But Teofimo Lopez, if he would have beat Kambosos, I don't agree that he would be the pound-for-pound king. How in the world would that make Teofimo the pound-for-pound king and put him above Canelo and even Crawford? Not this Crawford that just beat Earl Spence. Crawford at that point in time. Listen. I understand Teofimo Lopez and Anthony Joshua, were challenging for titles and getting out of their comfort zone before they hit 20 fights. Okay? I understand that. Teofimo still hasn't even hit 20 fights. I think he's just at 20, actually. But don't come now and say because they were challenging guys who presented a big threat at a time in their career where most guys wouldn't have taken those kind of challenges. Don't come and say, well, that's the reason why that would be enough justification to put them down as a pound-for-pound best boxer in the world. That's complete madness to me. Now, I think he deserves to be applauded, and I'm telling you, he can fight. Just like Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, he can fight. He got stuff going on upstairs. But it's the same thing here with Teofimo. He lost. Let me tell you something. You know why he lost to Kambosos? Yeah, maybe there were some medical issues going on, right? I'm not going to sit here and try to downplay that. I don't know enough about it. And if there was something really wrong with this man's heart, that's unfortunate because it makes me think about that basketball player who scored like 40-something points on Shaq. Glenn Bias is his name, I think. I can't remember. But anyway, he had, in one game, he collapsed. Went to the doctor. Found out he had issues with his heart. Then he came back, played a couple more games, and then collapsed again and died on the basketball court. So when it comes to these things, with guys having issues with their heart, I don't have nothing funny to say about that because who knows what is next for Teofimo Lopez health-wise if he continues to have heart problems. But that being said, he lost that fight to Kambosos. Maybe the the medical stuff had a little bit to do with it. The inactivity had a lot to do with it. But I think ultimately it's because he underestimated him, man. Who was Kambosos? No one even really was talking about no damn Kambosos before he fought Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez made him famous. Now Kambosos is a household name. Only people knew about Kambosos were down there in Australia. Nobody knew about no damn Kambosos over here in the States. But everybody knows him now. So job well done, Teo, for making that man famous. But I just think we're taking it to the stupid when we start talking about Teofimo Lopez and being how he would have been a pound-for-pound great. Nah, I don't think so. When you take a look at Teofimo Lopez, he stands 5'8", 68.5-inch reach. He has 20 bouts, 19 wins, 13 by KO, and 1 loss. But when you just, scroll down and take a look at the guys he fought, right? Let's just look at some of the names of the guys he fought. We're going to stop up at Kambosos Jr. And then you tell me how you figure that if he would have won that Kambosos fight, he'd be down as a pound-for-pound great. So let's just go back to 2017. You got a guy named Josh Ross, Pablo Sanchez, Vito Jones, William Silva. Most of y'all don't even know these dudes. Mason Menard, Diego Magdaleno, he can fight. Edis Tati, Masayoshi Nakatani, he can fight. Kome was knocking people out, Lomachenko, then Kambosos. It's just not a good enough stretch, in my opinion, to start suggesting that he was at the time headed towards being a pound-for-pound great. I don't think so. I think people are getting caught up in the Heisman Trophy deal. But what this does tell you is that Top Rank did a great job promoting him and building him, because his whole thing with the Bud Light deal and bringing that to Top Rank and the Heisman, fighting on Heisman weekend, and the fact that his name was just really all over boxing because of what he was doing with the knockouts and everything. I think he deserves to be applauded and to be lauded for what he was accomplishing. But to sit there and say the George Kambosos Jr. fight is what ultimately derailed him from being down as a pound-for-pound great, I don't think that's the case. I think he would be in a conversation if he had a few more signature wins, but it is what it is. Because in that Kambosos Jr. fight, not Kambosos Jr., Lomachenko, man, when he woke up around round 6 and started letting his hands go, it was all downhill for what's his name, Teofimo. So I just don't agree with that. And even if we look now, talking about how Teofimo's the best 140 pounder out there right now, I don't know if I agree with that. I just don't know if I agree with that. He struggled there with Campa, he struggled there with Martin, and then he got in there with Taylor, and he beat Taylor. I thought Taylor was going to beat him, but these guys obviously stay around weights too long. Even Teofimo said Josh Taylor stayed around the weight too long. But that being said, when it comes to Teofimo, look, man, he's a good fighter. Any fight he's in, it makes it interesting. But I don't think he's so solid of a fighter that if he was to fight, Tank Davis or Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney or Regis Prograis, I don't know if I'd be willing to put money on Teofimo Lopez. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not seeing what everyone else is seeing. But I'm seeing a guy who, I think is a little bit delusional. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong for someone not believing in himself. I support that 100%. But you can't be delusional. I think he's a little delusional. But who knows? That secret society could be working with him. You see, they made this man super champion for the WBO at 140. So Teofimo can go down and fight a WBO champion, or bubble up to 147 to fight a WBO champion. So it's a very good. It's a very strong possibility Teofimo could end up going up and trying to make a fight with Terrence Crawford. But, who knows what Terrence Crawford will do. But I tell you what, Teofimo's kind of in a good position. But the inactivity, he turned down fighting on Heisman weekend this year. He turned it down. He didn't want to fight. So I don't know what he's doing. But that loss to Kambosos, even if he won that fight, I don't think that would have put him. How are you going to just skip, especially over everything like Jermell Charlo struggling to get on the pound-for-pound ranking, and he's undisputed. Devin Haney struggling to get on the pound-for-pound ranking. He undisputed. Teofimo just all of a sudden going to end up on the number one over Canelo, over everybody. It's because he would have beat Kambosos. Man, these guys here, don't get me wrong, man. I don't know everything about boxing. And I don't, and I'll hear somebody, I can disagree with them, but this to me is just taking it to the stupid. That being said, we'll see what he does with his career. He's talking about, it's not even about the takeover anymore. It's about the decision he makes and how it affects fighters coming up behind him. And, I don't know what he's talking about, to be honest with you, when he starts talking like that. I mean, it's like he's Floyd Mayweather, my man. You're not Pacquiao. Even though De La Hoya is a little weird, you're not De La Hoya, man. What are you talking about? You ain't put the work in like that. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. That amateur and all that. Don't get me wrong. I take all that into consideration. But man, you can't come out here acting like you got some kind of muscle, man, to where you can make these power moves and that. Come on, man. You were just complaining about the money you were making and how 1.3 million is really like 500,000 after they take taxes and everybody gets paid. The 2.2 million is what you make per fight now, and that's really like 1 million, 1 point something million. You really ain't not the money you want. You wanted 20 million. You mad because Bud Light making 90, 80, 90, 100 million a year. They're giving that kind of money to Top Rank. And you brought Bud Light over there. You mad because they won't even give you a $20 million purse when they're making 90, 80, 90, 100 million from Bud Light every year. So come on, my man. What are you talking about? You want to help these younger fighters? Put yourself in position the way you can affect that pay scale in a positive way like Floyd Mayweather did. Not by leaving the sport and not fighting and talking about you giving up your belts. But then the damn WBO come and make you, how you gonna give a retired guy the distinction as a super champion? You know how that happens? Secret society is how that happens. Man, out there in the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, man, break dancing, salsa and bachata. Boom, out there chilling, drinking, leche de coco. You know what I'm saying? Drinking that coconut milk, agua de coco, coconut water. Man, chilling out there. Whole time somebody retired from boxing. Get out of here. But anyway, Teofimo Lopez is a good fighter. I want to make sure all the jokes and BS aside, the man can fight. But he ain't no goddamn belong to no damn pound for pound list as the top dog. Get out of here, man. Hold your horse and stop taking it to the stupid. I'm in the breeze.